happening? And this is Charles and Kevin. And I'm Charles. I'm a business owner, and I've been active in the community for the last 30 years. And this is my dog from high school, Kevin. Tell them a little bit about yourself, man.
Oh yeah, I'm Kevin Stringer, and I like to help. I have a clothing brand and mentor program. God got me brandinc.com, and I just I like to talk about the issues in life and get to the crux of what's going on around us and with us and above us and under us, and you know that's really just me. I'm just a regular dude that just want to do better in life.
Right.
That's
Okay.
about it.
I heard that, man. And man, like I said, man, we've been boys since high school, man. And it's been a long time, man, since we've known each other. And a lot of things have
Yeah,
changed since we've been
yeah,
in high school, man. So
yes.
what would you say the main thing that you see between then and now when you see some of these young people coming up and everything?
Okay, let me see. The last time I was in high school was 1990. So that would be what, 34 years.
Hmm.
Um, a lot has changed. The way we communicate, the way things are communicated, um, the tone, the the different movements, I seen something the other day that said, back in our day, when you wanted to protest something, you had to write letters, you had to go places and be present in these things. And nowadays, when you disagree with something, all you have to do is push a button on the keyboard. So a lot has changed, Chuck. A lot has changed. So what I see is the difference now is just technology, evolution, and just the world progressing. You know,
Right. Yeah, because
so
man, I mean, a big thing is not to cut you off, but man, things that I see too, man, is like neighbors don't know each other anymore. People that stay on
mm,
the same street, you might not and never even know their names or their family names. Back in the day, I mean, everybody knew each other in our neighborhood. We could play, we go over people's houses. Nowadays, man, everybody's based in the house playing video games. Things have it's just completely different now. And like, I mean, it's hard to just I can't even imagine just not knowing people on my own street, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we
right,
play
right,
pickup football games, basketball.
right, right. That's ironic that you say that because uh my brother Samis Pugh, Urban Negro, uh he uh he posed a question a while back that what what's wrong with our neighborhoods. What's the difference between our neighborhoods now than our neighborhoods then? Like similar to the question that you posed, right?
Right.
And people came up with a whole lot of different scenarios. And the thing that stuck out to me the most was that, just like you just said, that whatever the reason was that people gave, the one that stood out to me was that people aren't neighbors anymore. You know what I mean? Like, whereas my neighbors could discipline me, they didn't necessarily put their hands on me or whoop me or whatever, but they can get me straight.
Yeah, they could
Now,
check you. Right.
right nowadays, if I say something to your child, I may get in a fist fight, a shootout, a police come and I mean whatever. And it's like, no, I was just trying to get your child straight so they wouldn't be in this situation. Whereas the parents are different. You know, I came up in a two-parent household. So being in gangs and following and all of that, like, okay, let me rewind it all back. Let me put it like this. When we were in school, if your parent came up to the school, your parent came up to check you, right? Nowadays, when parents go up to the school, they go up and check the teachers and the administration
That's right.
and make their children feel like it's okay to behave the way that they do. And that's why we survive whatever we come face with, and they don't because parenting has changed. Not only that, my neighbor, not only that, I've seen households where the parents are at odds of how to discipline their child.
Hmm.
So if it's happening inside the household, when you send that child out into the world and someone says something that they don't like or hurts their feelings, then they come get you, and then you don't make it
Oh, you still with me? I don't know. Kev's
correct
is
you. You check the gets goes awry. You know what I mean? Everything goes awry, and that's we know what could happen and what could come from all of that.
right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that's what I'm saying. So like what you saying, like, yeah, the difference is that we can't be neighbors anymore because I can't say nothing to your child, but your child
Oh, I think I lost him. He's breaking up. Let me read this from Paul. Common grounds are gone, being distanced and antisocial is the new norm. Children are being raised by AI technology, not human socializing. All of them are being taught by technology. This is the divide of our society. And that's true. It seems like, television and technology is raising our kids. Um, and we've lost the grip of our children in the way they think. And they all kind of like get together through the internet. They get on um, these different chat rooms and they even bully each other in chat rooms. I do have a 10-year-old daughter that they had a meeting about online bullying and things like that. And like I said, so I think with that, it brings about you know uh it's an awkward, like, what I'm saying, you're socially awkward when that happens because you're not used to interacting with people in person, and it's all online. And so, you got these Twitter gangsters and whatnot. And that's part of the problem too. That people, they get online behind the keyboard and start gang banging. I mean, just think, just during like during COVID, the crime started to spike, and especially like during and right after COVID, it hit an all-time high because people learned how to actually socialize online, and they was actually gang banging on social media, and it was on site. Like they was dropping locations, and people was meeting up, and people were having shootouts. I was wondering, like, people ain't really outside that much, but how are all these people? How are we having all these murders? That's crazy. I just did. I never understood that, but it's because of you know, it's because of this online thing, online chatting, online bullying, and socializing that's causing the problem. Yeah, Kev, if you can exit out, I don't know what happened to Kev. You can exit out and come right back in because you know your screen is froze, man, and I can't see anything. Your screen is just froze, bro. So hopefully we can get Kev back because, like I said, you know, he was always like you know one of the more popular guys in high school and whatnot, and you know he always was he always was motivated and had a conscience about you know things, and we need his input in here. So hopefully, you know, he comes back in here soon so we can get back you know to the regular show or whatever. But we're just gonna keep it moving. Let me see what the next one. Okay, we had civil rights leaders and we were forefathers, and that is gone. Churches are not a part of the stronghold of our community. That's true. You know, I really don't even know like who the churches are now locally. They keep that in house. They only deal with people that come in their doors, and a lot of times churches, like I said, they don't come out and do things with the community. And I'm not saying all churches, because when I stayed on the hilltop, I mean, one of the greatest church services in the community that I ever dealt with was the Ashburn Center, because the Ashburn Center, they actually had, you know, they fed the poor. They had programs, and this is where we all gathered, and they were genuinely interested, like in our community. So they actually, you know, they did a really good work. And if all churches followed that game plan of how the J. Ashburn Center did, then I think, you know, the whole country would be completely different, because we had really, you know, we had mentors and we were able to do things, and we just had a nice time, you know, just going up there and they had things for us, you know. But hold on, let me see what's the next one. But yeah, and at the same time, y'all, if you guys like I said, we having technical difficulties with my boy Kev. This is our first show. We're gonna get it together. But if you can go to the YouTube channel and like and subscribe to this page, I would appreciate it, because we're trying to build it up. We're going to keep on talking about important topics, you know, throughout community. We're going to break everything down, and I got different news topics that I break down almost every day on there. And so I would like, you know, you to actually go there and like and subscribe to the page. Let me try to add him back. Let me see something. Yeah, I don't know. We even lost him, so I don't know what happened. Okay, well, let's keep moving. I'm gonna just keep moving. We're just gonna shoot this straight from the cuff until my boy Kev get back. All right. Okay. All right. So like I said, you know, social media, again, it could be used for good or bad purposes. And like I said, you know, the gangbanging situation has really, you know, destroyed, you know, our community. I mean, because like I said, it's so much you know, information out there. You know, they can look up certain things, and I think that they're just privy to too much information, you know, and to each other. Because like I said, they can video chat. Back in the day, we couldn't video chat. Those are things that we just dreamed about. We seen that on cartoons like the Jetsons and whatnot. And those are things that we could not do back in the day. And now they have complete access to each other from their bedroom 24 hours a day. Like I said, we had one phone line back in the day and with our mom. And you know, my mom used to talk on the phone all the time. So I had to wait till she got off the phone before I could even call somebody. So our communication was outside. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, he might be back. Let's see. Where you at, Kev? Okay, he still ain't back. Okay, hold on. Let's go to the next one. All right, trust in our society is gone. How can you trust someone with your children? I mean, that's true, but like I said, I think that it's always been there, but I think that with the way that news media is and whatnot, that we just see it a lot more. But people were getting like molested. They were molesting kids back in the day and all that. But now you got, you know, cameras, and you could go to daycare and watch them live and whatnot, where you couldn't do that before. You know, a lot of kids, you know, they was getting things happen to them, and it was silent. So yeah, I mean, you know, you got to definitely watch who you trust with your kids, especially before they can actually talk and explain what happened, you know. But okay, we're going to go to the next topic. Okay. How has music and television affected this generation? Okay. Now remember, in high school, we had a big Stop the Violence movement, and it was headed by a group called Public Enemy, for those of you who don't remember. They hosted, I mean, they were revolutionary, and they were like anti-government, and they had a whole movement that affected the whole industry. You know what I'm saying? So even like when you watch like NWA and the Ghetto Boys. Remember, like they were, it was gangster music, but they still had a conscious undertone. You know, NWA had songs like "Fuck the Police," and the Ghetto Boys had "Fuck a War," so they were still conscious. But when you fast forward ahead, when Jeezy and them came out with the Snowman, you know, and then drill music came out with Chief Keef and King Von. I mean, these people were straight goons. They glorified killing each other, and they was like glorifying drinking lean. So it was absolutely crazy back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like when that first came out. And then, you know, because like I said, you know, Ice Cube and all them, I mean, and you had like, and actually in WA, there was a guy named MC Ren. He actually joined the Nation of Islam because, you know, he was still conscious, so he was still able to be reached. But some of these kids these days, I mean, they just like, they in their own world. I mean, everything goes in one ear and out the other. They just don't have any type of conscience, and they don't even care about it because they're being fed. They're in video games all day, and it's just a different time, man. They just don't have any conscience because I think it kind of starts in the household, you know. And then with movies, you know, it started to have a feminist women's empowerment. When you watch movies like The Color Purple, where you know, women started off, you know, they were oppressed, and then at the end they finally got justice, and that I think kind of spearheaded like the feminist movement and whatnot, because it just showed that they just didn't want to be under a man's control, you know, where when it just showed like when a man was at the head of the household, then he was going to be oppressive. And that wasn't necessarily, that was not the case. It did happen, of course. I can't take away from it, but I mean, you know, we had other like even like positive shows, like it would have killed like the Cosby Show, where you had a man who was functional. He was the head of his household. He had his wife who was successful. The kids were normal, you know, and it was a functional family. But we don't have stuff like that no more. Everything is just like, when you watch it, it's just straight comedy. It don't have any lessons involved in the shows, and it's just like it's crazy. Like I don't even watch regular TV programming, especially the movies, because I mean we don't have any good movies. We're either dope dealers, or you know what I'm saying, or we way out there. Most the men are portrayed as being homosexual and things like that, and that's not the norm. It is happening and whatnot, but you know, the rank and file, you know, black person, I mean, you know, they don't show that. We just have this stereotype that they always put on us. And I, you know, and that makes it hard for me to watch you know, things like that. So, you know, yeah, I think like right now, you know, it's good that we come on here and talk, and we have like different people come on. I just appreciate everybody that's tuned in and everything, because we're going to, you know, just keep on moving on with our subject matter, and just attack, you know, the things that actually happen. And then and another thing, like I said, like I said, we still waiting on my boy Kev to come on. I don't know what happened. His you know, technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. But we still gonna go through these topics, you know, and then, you know, we'll just have to just do another show. But okay, another topic that we want to talk about is how do the modern drugs compare to the crack epidemic? Now, remember, when crack first hit, it was primarily the adults that got hit with the first wave. And I mean, it turned that first group, it turned them into zombies. You know, I personally had an experience with it because my dad became addicted to crack. Hold on, we got another question. Here we go. Yeah, we need y'all questions. Okay, the black man became a commodity for the government to incarcerate at high rate, and this broke up the homes of children being raised by whomever was around. Grandmothers were dying off. The music was about love, not destruction and disruption. That's true. If you, like I said, if you see in the movies, I mean, and in the music industry, man, like I said, I mean, everything was about having a great time together. It was positive. They were talking about love and whatnot, about relationships. And I mean, that just completely changed. Like, I mean, this music is now, it's just straight up having sex, and there ain't no relationship involved or nothing. Like it's just bump and grind. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, and as you see in these videos, you know, women naked in there. I mean, so we just also they just want to have sex. It's just it looks like a big old orgy. If you're a foreign person that's watching the rap scene and the rap videos and the music, they just look at this like just like we just thugs and we hoes. That's it. There's no substance or whatever in these movies, and they allow this thing to be released like that. That's what's crazy. You know, they wouldn't let any other race make this type of music that's destructive, that's portraying themselves in a negative way. The worst thing that they have is like rock and roll and whatnot. But other than that, you do not hear no songs about white folks killing white folks. That just does not happen. They will not allow it. You don't hear Jews killing Jews. You don't hear Indians killing Indians, Chinese killing Chinese. It's only in our community that they let it go. And like I told you, and even in this YouTube thing, what I figured out, like they allow you to show guns and whatnot on your YouTube channel if it's a rap video. If it's not a rap video, they don't let you do it. And like I said, these rap videos is what these kids is living by. They're going off of it. This is how they feel that this is what they're putting in front of our kids, and it's not good. But anyway, back to the drug epidemic. Like I told you, the crack epidemic. Like I said, it turned them into zombies. I seen my dad, who was valedictorian, which means, I mean, he basically got straight A's all the way through high school. He was a young man with a promising start, but he, he got my mom pregnant, so he ended up going to the service, and he had a promising start. He was still a bright guy. I mean, he ended up working for like the post office. He, became like the, he was one of the they supervised at an early age, and he was on the uprise. We were middle class. It was him and my stepmom. They were both making good money, very highly intelligent. He's the one that introduced me into computers and just basic fundamental electronics, which set the pathway for the rest of my life. And I seen my father from that first hit that he had, it just killed the person that he was. He just completely just turned into another person. We had a house, we had like 5 cars. He started, just spending up all the money. He started selling the cars off. He had bonds that we had from when we were little, from when I was a baby that he started. I mean, I'm talking about like 13 years of bonds that he had actually in a drawer, and they were all $100. Every 2 weeks, it was $100 bond that he had in there. And when he started smoking, he went through all that, and we ended up losing the house. I had to move back with my mom, and it was a totally different situation. Like I said, we were upper middle class, and then it took me all the way back to my mom. I mean, she was a single mother, and then now she had two of my sisters, and now me. So we was barely making it. Our lights got cut off a couple times, and I had to learn how to survive. You know what I'm saying? Which I think that helped me later on in life. But man, it was rough, man. Our stuff. I had never had any insecurity about food or electricity being cut off before I moved in with my mom. But like I said, she gave me survival skills that taught me to this day, because I've been through many ups and downs in my life. And, and like she taught me, like when I'm having downtime, like, shoot, we would go to Super Duper. I know y'all know about Super Duper, man. She would get like a pack of chicken for like $1.25, had 4 leg quarters. And, we was down, she might have $5. She fried up them legs with some sides, some Kool-Aid, and hey, we made it. And later on in life, I mean, those are the type of skills that I had to learn. It taught me how to survive when times were rough, because like I said, I've had, companies or whatever that were up and they were down. So I had to be efficient with my money. So, that really, that helped me in terms of survival. I don't think if I wouldn't have moved back with my mom, I probably wouldn't have known how to survive on a lower level and still thrive. And that's what my mom was a master of. Let's go back to that. Let's see what we got. All right, Paul, appreciate it. The new American Negro is portrayed by Africans in movie and not American Black. That's true, man. If you look at all the major movies and whatnot, like Snowfall. Now they're gonna go all the way to England to catch a black dude to be the biggest dope boy in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You ain't got no people that can portray a dope dealer in the United States. That's ridiculous. And like I said, by me going to film school, which also had an acting school on the other half of it, you don't get as much participation. They don't press that. Like, they had like theater survey and acting and stuff like that in high school, but it wasn't a big performing arts presence with that. you know, they don't stress that anymore. Like it's more about just sports, football, and basketball. But the performing arts thing, that piece is gone, you know, because I always wanted to get into film. So I had to wait actually until my daughter graduated from college before I actually went to film school, and I had to go myself because I was trying to make little movies when I was younger, you know, using my dad's little camcorder and whatnot. You know, I was doing little stuff, but I never had the opportunity to do it, or I would have jumped right on that back then because I love that. Like I said, I made like 4 movies. I did, you know, movie videos, documentaries and whatnot. So I mean, that's my lane. I love it, but we just did not have that coming up. And then also like in The Wire, if you look at all the cast in The Wire, you're gonna see it's all British people on there. I mean, Stringer Bell, he's from British. And then also, you know, some of the other cast, a lot of them people, you know, they're from overseas. And man, it's crazy. Like I said, it's just like I said, it's like they only have like, you know, football fields and basketball courts in the hood. We don't have any golf courses. It's not diverse. You got to go way out somewhere if you want to go to a golf course or whatnot. They might even have a tennis course here and there, but they press in football and basketball. That's it. They do not press, you know, us having any type of other, you know, higher learning other than sports. That's just not, it's not what's happening in the inner city. And it's a lot of talent there that's wasted because they only giving us a couple options. Like I said, if you can't make that jump shot, then shoot, they ain't got no use for you. But okay, so let's keep going. So again, like I said, I told you about my dad. He you know, he became a fiend, and you know, and it affected, you know, my whole future was affected. So then now I was on my own. I had to grow up real quick, and man, it was, you know, it was a rough time. Like I was a high risk time in my life, you know, because I had to figure out things that, you know, he could have actually taught me, and I wouldn't have had to relearn it and reinvent the wheel, you know. And then like I said, and the only reason why my dad stopped smoking crack was because the drug dealers start getting greedy and they start stepping on the product. And what it was they started mixing it up with stuff, and the product started getting weak. So what came to the market after that was the oxycodone and the Percocets and whatnot. You know, that's what started hitting the market during that time, because like I said, the crack wave kind of flew into that, and it kind of exited by people's greed, trying to make the most money. But like I said, the pharmaceuticals are much more powerful, and they, you know, and they can guarantee if they got that stamp on there, they're gonna get a certain amount of high. Whereas, you know, with the crack, how the way the crack went, you know, you don't know what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? The product became very weak. And then remember, the fiends back then, they actually, like I said, it started at a later age. You know, when crack hit, it was mostly the adults. And now when you came into when people start doing the Xanax and everything, and that's why I did that movie like Killing Season, because it you know, I wanted to illustrate how you know, the drugs and all that was affecting the kids. And a lot of these little kids, when I did that movie, man, all them little cats was on Xanax and everything. And as you see, these little kids are skinny, and they just like they smaller than their girl. Like, I mean, it's crazy. They're not getting the nutrition. They're getting their pleasure from doing these pills. And you know, like I said, and with the Xanax, then we came to the most deadliest drug that has ever been existed to mankind, and that's fentanyl. And if you have, they said fentanyl is almost 100 times more potent than heroin, you know. And I've seen so many kids, and they don't even publicize this on TV or anything. There's so many of these kids that's dying from Xanax, man. I mean, from fentanyl. I had a guy he was in like 2 of my movies. This guy named his name was Chris. And I mean, he was the coolest cat, man. He was from Cleveland. He was like so cool. He had like, you know, he did his music and whatnot. And he was always just a little cool hustler. You know what I'm saying? And man, and when we made the second movie, he died before the premiere of the second movie. He couldn't even see it. He died in his sleep taking some fentanyl. And it's been so many cases of these young people dying from fentanyl, man. I mean, it's really bad. Like it's an epidemic that they're not showing on the news, you know, and it should be shown because it's too many of these kids dying, man. And you know, and they don't even know what hit them. I mean, if you just take just a little bit, like just a microgram, you could just die. Your heart would just stop. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's the deadliest drug that's been known to man. Okay, let's keep it moving. And like I said, dang, Kev, I had my boy Kev on here. I don't know what happened to him, but it's cool. I mean, we gonna keep doing our thing. Okay, so the next topic we was gonna go over was has the Me Too and Black Lives Matter movement helped our community? Now, the Black Lives Matter movement was brought about by police brutality. It really started, when the guy got killed when he was going to get in Orlando, and he was going to get a candy bar, and he got, and the dude shot him. And if anybody is in the comments, let me. I can't remember what his name is off the bat, but here you go. There you go. Can you hear me? Kevin. Kev, can you hear me? Kev, you live? I don't know what's going on this thing. Hey, just whenever you can hear me, man, start talking, man, because I can kind of hear you, bro, but you ain't saying nothing. But anyway, I'm gonna just keep going back until he join in. The Black Lives Matter movement brought attention to police brutality, but in my opinion, it did not change any policies as Black people. We still were left unprotected. There are no policies still on the book that have actually protected us from brutality. Now, everybody else has protection, but us as a community, we do not. So I don't think that the Black Lives Matter movement did more than just bring attention to what was happening at the time, but it didn't actually change policies. Are you here? You with me, Kev?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, he's back. My dog. I had to keep on going with the show until you came back, man.
I didn't know what was going on. You know what I mean? I was like, we was having technical difficulties. So I was over here on live just answering the questions that I seen, that my man Paul Hodge was having. Y'all didn't hear none of that I was saying?
Nah, I didn't hear you at all. You was
Okay.
your screen just froze, so I just kept on talking. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I know you're gonna come back at some point.
Yeah, I was just letting them know we on a test run, but I was really interested in what my man was talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where can I see his
post?
The black man became a commodity. Yeah, that's nothing new. I don't know how far ahead y'all are from that, but I was speaking on that on the other platform, on my other platform. So I thought y'all was with me, but I didn't know. So I don't want to go back and then so where we at now? Catch me up real quick and let me in. Because
so
what my man Paul was saying was real interesting.
Right. Yeah. You definitely hit on some points. Basically, I went through the the crack epidemic and compared to the modern day drugs now. And I told them about the Xanax and the Percocets and the fentanyl right now that's going out here that's killing so many people. And that we had a couple people that died that was actually in the movie that we did, the Detroit Boys movie. And
right.
Yeah. So I went and I went over that. And then now we're at the to you. Let me ask you the question: has the Me Too and Black Lives Matter movement helped our community, in your opinion?
To be honest with you, I really don't pay too much attention to it because it doesn't affect the community efforts that I'm involved in and that I'm attached to. You know what I mean? Like the Me Too and all of that. I really don't get involved in that type of things because it doesn't affect me in my immediate responsibility to the community. You know what I mean? Like there's so much going on. Let them have that. I don't. If that's what they do, let them do that. I just know that where I'm from and the community and the streets that I ran around, it, it, we got to take care of that before we can care about what the Me Too. Because once I learned that the Me Too movement was funded by a white man, I lose on interest. You know what I mean? It has
Right.
nothing to do with me no more at that point. I'm more interested in Derek Russell and Adrian Hood and Eric Vance Lockett and 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 Damon Mosley and Troy Fowler and Nicole Butler and you know what I mean. I'm more interested in what they're doing on 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 the ground, you know what I mean? Because that's where I'm from and that's what affects me the most. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm affected by it all. You want to talk about the fentanyl movement? I'm affected by that um, in a way. I'm affected by it because I lost my only child to it.
Mm.
So we want to talk about the Me Too movement. No, I can't talk about the Me Too movement because I don't want nobody else to be like me too. I don't want no other parent. I don't want no. I don't wish that on no enemy, or I don't have no enemies. But I'm saying like I don't wish that on nobody. This is not a fraternity. You know what I mean? The crack era. Yeah, we lost people, but people survived that. This era, we lose people. They not coming back. They not coming back.
That's right.
I'm directly affected by that. So the Me Too and what was the other thing you said? The Me Too and
And the Black Lives Matter.
yeah, Chuck. I don't concern myself with stuff like that. The phone calls I get, they're not saying Uncle Kev, Brother Kev, Nephew Kev, Big Bro Kev, Me Too. They saying you survived something, you're surviving. How do I survive too? That's the phone calls I get. I don't get the phone calls for, hey, we want you to be a part of this Me Too shit. I don't know about all that. You know what I mean? I just know about what
Right.
I go through. You feel
I
me?
feel you.
You feel me, Chuck?
Yeah.
And that's what
So let me
and that's it.
so let's delve a little bit into that, man. Like I said, I just told how much of an epidemic that fentanyl was, man. Do you know like how your son actually
Is not was, is not was, is.
okay, how did he actually get into fentanyl? Was it mixed with something? Did you find out like how did he get mixed in with the fentanyl?
Well, I don't know the process of that. What I how the fentanyl got in to whatever it is that my son was took. I don't know that. What I do know is that it was in there. You know what I mean? And it was something that I talked to him about. We have to be careful of what we choose to do. You know what I mean? And Chuck, I really don't know how to answer the question, like to give you a
That's cool.
clear, because
Right, right. I
it's
got
so
you.
complex. It's so complex
Right.
for me as a father I have to be careful on a personal level of what I say because I don't mind telling the truth, right? I'll tell you the truth. I don't gain nothing by lying. It's just that ask me that question again.
Okay, and then um, somebody commented, "Talk through the pain, Kev. You got more supporters out here than you realize." Um, so the
Thank you,
question again
P.
that I
Thank
had,
you, P.
the question that I have is again, I'll try to rephrase it a little bit. Like I said, I know the situation, with your son dying, from fentanyl, and I was just wondering if you ever found out how did he get mixed up in the fentanyl? Was it laced with weed? Did you know of any other type of drugs that he might have been
Oh well, the
using?
way, the way, the way, the way he took a pill. He took a pill. I could tell you that. How the fentanyl got in the pill is something that I would never. I probably would never know. You know what I mean? I just
Okay.
know that he took a pill and it had fentanyl in it, and unfortunately, you know what I mean.
Right, right. How old was he?
At the time, he was 22.
Okay.
2 weeks before his 23rd birthday.
Mm, dang, man. And then I seen online where, like, I mean, you can't trust nothing that you get off the streets, man. People got like pill pressers where they can actually come and they can break down a pill and make it 5 pills and then mix in and cut it with different things. I mean, these streets, man, it's rough out here. And like I said, that fentanyl, man, that's a man. I'm telling you, I've known so many people that have died from that. So many young men, and that needs to be talked about, man. It's bad.
I know, Chuck. You think you know? I ran the streets,
Right.
Chuck. I've been in spots where I watched people manufacture drugs. Like I'm, and when I say that, I'm saying that on a broad spectrum. Like I've watched one turn into two, two turn into eight, eight turn into 24. I've watched it. I've watched a motherfucker make 50 cigarettes. I mean, the pill pressures. uh, I've been in. I ran the streets, bro. You know what I mean? And I don't want to talk about my experiences in the streets. It's just that I need people to understand. I know what I've seen and what I've experienced, right? So
Mm-hmm.
who knows how that fentanyl got in to whatever my son took? I really don't even care.
Right.
I just know that it took my son.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're right. It needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about because we're not talking about it in our community. We're not talking about. We're watching it happen, and we're not saying nothing. We're like, "Oh, another one. Oh, another one," and we're not talking about age groups. We're talking about all ages,
Mm-hmm.
all genres, all backgrounds, all ethnics, all everything. You know what I mean? So you asked me how did he get mixed up? Shit, nigga, he was out in the real world. You know what I mean? Like that's my man. That's my son. He wasn't with me 24/7. He wasn't with his mother 24/7. So there are times that he had to make decisions on his own. Unfortunately, there was one time that we lost a beautiful, beautiful person.
Yeah.
And I blame me, I blame him, I blame the streets, I blame, you know what I mean? Like, I go through all of those different emotions. The bottom line is that it is what it is. And to know what got him involved, I really don't think I want to know, Chuck.
Mm.
I don't think I care to know what got him involved. I just know that whatever it is, I couldn't save him from it. And
Did you know that he was using any type of drugs at the time?
oh my God, I just told you. I talked to him about it.
Oh, okay.
I went to his room. He's up here where I'm sitting right now. His room is up and one over. And I come to his doorway and I say, and we talk about whatever. But before I leave, I say, man, because his nickname is Man. My son's nickname is Man. Little Kevin, me and his mom and the people close, we didn't call him Little Kevin. We call him Man. His real nickname is Man. Man, Man. Right? I said, man, do me one favor. I know you don't drink. We smoke weed together though. I smoke weed with my son. I don't care what nobody feel about that. Once he became grown, we smoke weed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't nothing I could do about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just us, right? Said, and we us, right? I said, man, do me one favor. Leave the pills alone.
Mm.
Right? I said, man. He said, Dad, what you mean? What you? I said, Kev, I ran the streets. Just because I didn't do it doesn't mean I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Just do me that favor because you don't know what the fuck they putting in this shit
That's
nowadays,
right. Right.
right? And he said, okay, Dad. And I go about my business. The very next day, he went to work. I went to work. We got off, all that, right? And we was, we us and all that, and we basically almost in the same exact place that we was the night before. And he turns to me and he says, Dad, what makes you think that I take pills? Because he knows I never seen him actually take the pills.
Right. Right.
What my son didn't understand is that I already knew and understand the behavior of people that took pills
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't take them. You know what I mean? So when he asked me that, I said, man, listen, my headache has to be at a level to where I don't have no choice but to take a Tylenol or whatever. Whatnot. I don't like popping pills. Not against it.
Right.
I'm just, it's not for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
The behavior that you've shown me, and I've watched you detox. I've sat on the side of the bed. You didn't even know I was there.
Mm.
And I sat on the side of the bed and watched you detox after you came from Columbus. That's why I asked you. Just leave that shit alone. You don't drink. And unfortunately, his addiction, which can't nobody help but him, I would love to be. I'm a father. He came out of my nuts. Like, what you think? I don't want to save him or shield him from all harm or anything that's going to, hurt him in life. That's not reality. So he made a choice, and I have to live with the results, bro. Like, I have to live with that. I have to. We have to live with that. And 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 I don't know why. I just know it is what it is. And God got me here for a reason. And I have to move and push on. What's up, Cuddy? How you doing? I'm just answering questions that Chuck, you remember Chuck Ivory, cool ass Chuck, one of them light skinned niggas. You know I'm gonna be me, Chuck. I'm gonna tell you the truth, but I'm gonna be me, Chuck.
Okay. So we got another comment. They have turned the world upside down with chemical-based drugs. Is mind altering and highly addictive. And that's true, man. That's just another vice to you know,
But
to stop us from being
Paul,
great. Yeah, by Paul.
right. Paul say they turn the world upside down with chemical based drugs. It's mind altering and highly addictive. I agree. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Mm-hmm. And this stuff they got
I tried
nowadays
it.
is worse than coke. You know what I'm saying?
It makes you
And that's
scared. It makes you
right,
scared.
right. And that's why I always, I try to tell these young people, man, like the worst, the two things that that can hinder you from being successful, or that can really stop you from being great. Of course, drugs and having a criminal record, and then also, and having early pregnancies. When you have a kid at a younger age, you on the hook for 18 years of child support, man, and that ain't never going nowhere. And and those are two big things that that these young men need to know about, man. Like drugs, crime, and having babies at a young age out of wedlock. I think if we start
Right.
there, I think that they'll have a much better chance to succeed, because they say that the young mind doesn't actually completely develop until he's like 25 years old. Your mind completely develops until it's 25. So before then, you still trying to learn things and whatnot, and you making a lot of mistakes. And with the way that these young kids is doing it, like I said, when I was when I was in film school, they taught us writing and all that as well. And what it is that um, this is life too. There's always an arc in life, and there's always three acts in life. And the first one is the setup, which is the beginning of your life. You know, you're dreaming about having a lot of great things you want to do, and then you have the conflict, and then you have the resolution. These young kids ain't even getting past that. Once they get to the conflict, the way this stuff is so deadly, they're dying with one hit. They don't even have a second chance, or they're getting killed, you know, by other black folks or whatever the case may be. And they're not even getting a chance to grow and develop and be something that, you know, they could be the people that cure cancer or whatever the case may be. But they're dying off in so many high numbers, man. And there's so many different traps out there, man. Like I said, when I hear stuff like that, it's just really, man, it's just so sad, bro, man. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, that you're, you know,
Yeah,
that you have to go through that. Yeah.
that perspective is sad because there's so many um young people out here doing great things
Right.
that they don't promote, that there, there's no backing behind uh coming up with different inventions and things of that nature. And all we seem to keep focusing on is what's negative about our communities. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I hear you, and you make valuable and valuable points. There's nothing wrong with telling the reality of it. We have to get accustomed to telling the other side of the reality too. There's not just us dying. There's us succeeding, overcoming too. You know what I mean? I just seen that there's a little boy, 11 years old, in the NASA program, not in his school, but at NASA.
Mhm.
That's something to celebrate, but they don't put that out there. We don't talk about that more. You know what I mean? We're more thinking about what's happening in hip hop or rap music, and there's so much more to the culture that we have to celebrate, that we have to bring light to, that we're not doing that. Everything you said, Chuck, is 100% correct. Is is that where it ends with us though? Do we just
Mhm.
do we just focus on that part of what the life we're living in, and do that, or do we say, hey, there's something over here that's a bright light, that's a tunnel, a funnel, a vehicle, uh, uh, these people over here are doing something positive, productive,
Mhm.
to help us progress? Or do we just keep focusing on what's wrong with us? Because no
Oh,
matter what we work on, it's always going to be good and bad and everything, right?
oh
Pros and
yeah, absolutely.
cons, ups and downs, ins and outs, right? That's the reality of it, right?
Absolutely.
So I say I want to talk about what's good. We can discuss how we can fix things in our community. We can't just stay there though. That's where I'm at. I don't want to just stay there. Yes, all of these things are relevant, prevalent in our community. What I'm saying, these things are too. There's our children are on the honor roll too. Our
Mhm.
children are mastering science and mathematics and sociology and archaeology too. They're not just killing. These children over here ain't just killing and mass, shootings, and that's not happening in their world because they don't live a part of the impoverished mindset. What you think about that?
Right. That's true. And like I said, I mean, I mean, there's so many different traps and stuff that's out there. Like I said, once you get, you know, I just like I said, you have to get past that to even start being productive. Like I said, even with my case, like if I didn't establish a computer business, or or I didn't reinvent myself, then I would have never had anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I had, like I told you, the reason why I said it, like I said, I had children at an early age, and they was clipping my check like great. How could I ever be anything if I have to get a job and they're taking 60% of my check? You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want people to get caught in that same cycle that I got caught in, because not everybody can think their way out of certain situations, man. If I didn't have certain skills, where would I be? Like, I'm serious, man. So that's why I'm humble, man.
At the same time, though, Chuck, if you had the knowledge that was allotted to you and necessary for you to make a reasonable deal with those people, you could have did that too, and it wouldn't have been such a burden on how you move forward in life. What they don't give us is the knowledge of how we have the right to be us. You know what I mean? And you face those problems. I did it. Bro, you talk about that. I want to share this, and I never shared this before. Only a few people know this. I still pay child support. My son passed away going on 6 years ago. If I don't pay the child support, it affects every other part of my life. As far as in licensing, and whatever and so forth. Make it make sense.
I'm telling you, bro. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. They say, I don't give a fuck if you grieving. I don't give a fuck if it was your only child. I don't give a fuck about you. Fuck you, pay me.
Absolutely.
That's the U.S. government.
Right.
And that's what we deal with.
That's right.
And that's what I deal with daily. If I don't send that money off every month, everything else in my livelihood is in jeopardy.
Yeah.
It don't matter if my lights are in jeopardy. Doesn't matter if my gas, my water, my car note, house note. None of that matters. They say, if you don't do this, we don't give a fuck about all that. And then they lock me up if I don't do it, right? They lock me up. But that doesn't make the bill go away.
No.
It just compounds this shit. And
absolutely,
motherfuckers don't know. Like, this is what a person like me deals with every day. It doesn't go away from me. It doesn't go away. Whatever I got going on, whatever anybody wants me to do, no matter what aspect in life it involves, if this thing doesn't get done, none of all that other stuff is possible. And that's what people don't understand. To have something hanging over you that you have no control over, that's a burden that nobody should have. That's a burden nobody should have, Chuck.
Right. That's why it's important that we got to educate them before it happens, man, because that's a trap, man. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's a trap. Yeah. So we just got to keep on, talking about it and stuff. We're at the end of our show time. We're having these shows, y'all. Bigger and better. So make sure y'all keep tuning in. And also tomorrow, we got a show on the Love and Pain show at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we got a juicy topic for y'all. But any last words, Kev, before we log off?
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. You don't know how much I appreciate what you've done for me. And with that being said, I want to tell everybody that, yo, me and Chuck, we building from this. So this a test thing. It's a test, but stick with us and hopefully we give y'all the content and the education and the opportunity to have a voice, so we could talk about all these things that nobody want to talk about.
That's right.
And with that being said, Chuck, God got you, God got me, God got all of us, bro.
That's right. Okay, y'all. So again, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's the Love and Pain Show on YouTube. Again, tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m., for the Love and Pain Show with me and Champagne. And we'll get back to y'all real soon with our next topic here. And we're going to keep on rolling, Kev. Hey, this is the first show, and we're going to keep it going. So we'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Stay with me.